Every animal that ever challenged humans is dead, extinct, or tamed into submission. Cave lions, giant hyenas, dire wolves, 10-foot bears, mammoths, woolly rhinos, even crocodiles built like tanks. None of them lost to muscle. Ecologists who study modern predators found something strange about us. Humans kill adult prey, the animals a population actually depends on, at rates up to 14 times higher than any other predator on Earth. That number is why scientists call us a super predator, and it is the real reason every challenger eventually fell. Here is what actually happened, animal by animal, starting with the very first thing that ever hunted us. 3.4 million years ago, in what is now Ethiopia, Lucy's ancestors were not the top of the food chain. Paleontologists recently identified a 12 to 15-foot ambush crocodile living in her exact ecosystem, called Crocodylus lucivinator. One researcher put it bluntly, this crocodile would have looked at Lucy's kind and thought, simply, dinner. So before humans ever fought a lion or a bear, we were prey to something hiding at the water's edge. That fear never fully left us, and it shaped everything that came next. Around 1 million years ago, early humans faced a different threat, giant hyenas, the size of lions, called Pachycrocuta. Scientists modeling these encounters found something important. A lone human had no chance against one. But a group of 5 or more could chase a giant hyena off its own kill. The ideal number, according to the model, was around 13 people working together. This is the real origin story of human power, and it has nothing to do with strength. It was never about one person being tougher than one predator. It was about a group plus shared knowledge, something no single animal could ever copy. 320,000 years ago, at a site called Schöningen in Germany, something changes. Researchers found cut marks on bear paw bones, proof that humans were skinning cave bears for warmth. Cave bears weighed up to 600 kilograms, nearly 4 times the weight of an average man. And yet humans were already taking their skins. In the same era, we were also moving rare obsidian rock 25 to 50 kilometers for tools. That detail matters more than it sounds. It means planning, trade, and weapon making were already part of daily life, 300,000 years before farming existed. Now picture the cave lion, the apex predator of Ice Age Europe. At a site in Spain called La Garma, archaeologists found 9 cave lion claw bones. 8 of them had cut marks from a very specific skinning technique, one designed to keep the claws attached to the fur. This was not a panicked kill. This was a skilled, repeatable process, used on one of the most dangerous cats that ever lived. Now travel to Australia, where the first humans arriving found something almost mythical. Megalania, the largest land lizard that ever lived. It stretched nearly 5 meters long, an ambush hunter built to drag down anything that came near the water. There is no confirmed kill site, no cut mark, no spear point next to its bones. But Megalania vanished during the exact same extinction wave that hit nearly every giant animal in Australia after humans arrived. Sometimes the proof is not a single smoking gun bone, it is timing, and timing is rarely kind to the animal involved. Australia also had giant crocodiles waiting on land, not just in rivers, called quincana. Unlike modern crocodiles, these were built to chase prey across open ground. Even a land-hunting crocodile, one of nature's most patient killers, could not outlast what was coming. Then there is the dire wolf, made famous again by recent genetic research. DNA from 5 ancient dire wolf genomes revealed they were not just big gray wolves at all. They split from modern wolves 5.7 million years ago and never interbred with them again. A fully separate lineage, hunting in packs, built for taking down enormous prey. Humans had no claws like theirs, and no fangs like theirs. What we had instead was language, division of labor, and information passed between groups that never even met. A wolf pack only knows what it has personally learned. A human band could learn something in one valley and carry it to the next one. That gap, multiplied over thousands of years, is the entire story. North America had its own nightmare. The short-faced bear, standing up to 11 feet tall on its hind legs. As an adult, it likely had no natural predators at all, not one. Its sheer size alone probably scared off most rivals before a fight even started. Yet direct evidence of humans hunting this bear is almost non-existent. It survived until around 13,500 years ago, then disappeared in the same wave of climate shift and ecosystem collapse that took down so many others. Size without a group, it turns out, was never enough. Smilodon, the saber-toothed cat, is often called humanity's most famous kill. The truth is messier than the legend. Radiocarbon studies in North America show saber-tooth numbers dropping as humans arrive, but the evidence is thin and the sample size is small. Most scientists now think Smilodon's downfall was prey collapse and climate stress, with human competition adding pressure rather than delivering the final blow. Even our biggest victories were rarely clean. Now, to the animal most people picture first, the woolly mammoth. Isotope analysis on a Clovis-era child's bones found in Montana revealed mammoth meat made up nearly 40% of his mother's diet. That number puts ancient humans in almost the exact same dietary role as Homo, a saber-tooth that specialized in hunting mammoths. We were not just surviving near mammoths, we were competing with apex predators for the exact same meal. In Alaska, a mammoth tusk found near a human hunting camp dates to roughly 14,000 years ago. Mammoths also made massive seasonal journeys. One female tracked for 2.5 years moved nearly 1,000 kilometers. Humans did not chase mammoths randomly across the tundra. We learned their migration routes and waited. That is not brute force. That is intelligence applied with patience. The woolly rhinoceros tells an even more precise story. A 52,000-year reconstruction of their population found climate change was the bigger threat, but humans still removed about 10% of each generation through hunting. Scientists called that 10% vital to the species' final extinction. Climate set the trap, and a small, steady amount of human pressure closed it. The Irish elk is the opposite kind of story, one where humans barely show up at all. This giant deer carried antlers nearly 3.5 meters wide, useful for attracting mates but terrible for surviving in changing terrain. Most populations vanished around 12,000 years ago as Europe's climate flipped from open grassland to dense forest. A small group hung on in central Russia for another 4,000 years. There is almost no solid evidence that humans hunted this animal into extinction. Its antlers, the very thing that made it magnificent, became the thing that boxed it into a shrinking world. Not every extinction on this list belongs to us, and that matters too. In South America, the giant ground sloth gives us one of the cleanest crime scenes in all of paleontology. At a site called Campo Laborde in Argentina, researchers found sloth rib bones with unmistakable V-shaped cut marks. Beside the bones lay a broken stone spear point and tools carved from the sloth's own ribs. Radiocarbon dating puts this kill at over 10,600 years ago. This is not a guess. This is a documented hunt, butchery, and toolmaking, all in one place. Then there is the straight-tusked elephant, twice the size of an African elephant today. At Neanderthal sites in Germany, archaeologists found repeated butchery marks on elephant carcasses, with the brain, fat, and hind limbs deliberately removed. One single elephant carcass held enough calories for over 2,500 meals. That number alone suggests something huge. Either Neanderthals were storing meat, or large groups were gathering together to eat it before it spoiled. Either way, Neanderthals had already crossed the line. They were no longer scavengers waiting for leftovers. They were the dominant hunters of the largest animals in their world, long before modern humans even left Africa. Not every animal lost outright. The aurochs, a massive wild ancestor of cattle, was first hunted by humans for thousands of years. Then, around 10,500 years ago, something changed. Instead of killing every aurochs, humans began capturing and breeding them. Today, ancient DNA shows wild aurochs genes still hiding inside modern cattle breeds around the world. This might be the strangest victory of all. We did not erase this animal, we absorbed it, and turned it into something that now exists only because we allow it to. So what actually beat Earth's most dangerous animals? It was not claws, it was not fangs, and it was not raw size, because on every single one of those, humans lost badly. What we had was something no lion, no bear, and no wolf pack could ever build. Knowledge that survived after the person who learned it had died. A trick discovered by one person in one valley could spread to thousands of people who never met them. Fire let us see in the dark and warned off predators while we slept. Projectile weapons meant we could wound a mammoth from a safe distance and simply wait. Group coordination meant 13 ordinary people could do what no single giant hyena could stop. Every apex predator on this list was better than us, alone. None of them could compete with us, together. That is the real ending to this story, and most documentaries never even mention it. If you want to see exactly how this same kind of knowledge advantage let humans survive the literal ice age itself, That video is waiting for you right now. Go watch how we made it through the coldest, deadliest period our species has ever faced.